Merry Christmas, everybody. In today's video, we are going to build a gingerbread house, and I didn't know if I was even going to get to this year. I went out and I bought this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I think, and I just haven't had a chance to get to it, and I figured it's now or never. It's not that a gingerbread house is necessarily Christmas, but yeah, you know, you do want it to be out for your holiday decorations. And boy, is it cold today. Down here, and I don't want to say cold, not cold compared to the minus 28 wind chill they're having back in my former home in Wisconsin, but for Florida, it's 40 degrees today down here in Southwest Florida in Naples. And that's really cold. When I got up, I thought, oh, why is it so cold in the house? And I checked the temperature, and sure enough, it was really cold, 48 degrees. So I'm getting all of this stuff out. And, you know, I tried this a couple of years ago, if you want to look back on some of the videos. And what happened was this icing that you used to build it, the side gave out, and so icing, it was hard to keep it, you know, piped in a nice line. But yeah, well, hope that doesn't happen today. So the instructions for this thing are actually printed on the outside of the box. Let's see what we have. We have all the gingerbread pieces, and it does suggest that you can build it right in this base. I put an old cutting board here, and this table, boy, this table's been with me a long time. Do a lot of work on this table. So we have I mean, look at the picture. I think you can do whatever you want with these candies. They give, of course, suggestions for it. So what they do is they line the top house ridge with this candy. And then they have what look like little Christmas trees. And what do they do with these? They have these primarily stuck to the front. So only showing two of them. You know, it kind of makes you hungry, like you want to eat this candy, but I don't think that this is really a type of candy that you eat. I remember I tried a piece when I was building the other house, and it just wasn't really tasty. And this, you know, they're putting some pieces on the base, randomly on the roof to look like lights, along with some piping, and stuck to the front, you know, the eaves. And then this candy here, what do they do with this candy? This is also simulating Christmas lights. It actually looks like Christmas lights. It's shaped like Christmas lights. So it's along the side edge and a little bit on the front. Like I said, you can probably do whatever you want. And this, of course, is holly. They actually made a wreath out of this on the front. So we have that for candy. And I don't know how well this is going to decorate when it, you know, part of the problem was also when you're trying to decorate and this thing is upright. You know, it'd be much easier to decorate the house laying down, let that set, and then build it. We don't have that kind of time here today. So let's pop this open and hope I don't crack it. That's another thing. I think they intentionally, you know, bake this gingerbread, you know, with plaster of Paris or something in it, yeah, because they're so incredibly strong. You know, they want to ship them so they're not going to crack. But I do think that this is not your standard gingerbread. Did this just break? I don't know, the piece came down. I don't think so. I think that was just off to the side. Oh, you know what that is? It's the side of the chimney. It didn't break at all. I don't know about this. I looked at the side. I'm not going to worry about it. And these must be the side pieces of the house. And this must be the roof of the house. Do you say roof or roof? I guess I just said roof. So that must be the way that we talk up in the Midwest. We don't say roof, we say roof. And the dog says roof. All right, so that's the whole ball of wax right there. And we're going to have to set these pieces aside. Not going to worry too much about, sanitary conditions. I'm not going to eat this. This is decoration. It's going to be setting out. Okay, I'll put that side up. Let's see about how big it is. How much room I have. Okay, that's pretty good. Now these sides don't even match up. So I can tell right away that I'm going to have to put a lot of that building icing on here. I'm just looking, there's a little decoration on the window. I guess it doesn't, you know what, maybe that's supposed to be like the curtain spreading. So I'll put it so it's that way. Okay, so the first thing that you're supposed to do is knead this icing. And I think that's last time where it might have actually broken. I don't think I used the same brand, but they say you're supposed to knead it. And there is a use by date on here. What does that say? It's in code. They probably know that you're really not going to eat it. And yet, I'll bet that they have to put these things, build it in order to health codes and health standards, because it is gingerbread, it is icing, it is candy. So I'll bet that even though it's not really it's intended more to build than to eat, it's got to be edible, right? So it says knead it for 2 minutes. I'll knead this and then we'll come back. I don't know if that's been 2 minutes, but we're going to go with it. So I'm going to take this top off. Does it screw off or pull off? This is a part that concerns me a little bit because I'm not really sure how much I should cut that tip off. Ooh, that went. Okay, and it says that, there's going to have to be a lot of time edits in here. Okay, see here, this is not coming out. And I'm really afraid to force it. It does say do not microwave, but it didn't, you kind of force it out, and then what happens is you start to put more pressure on the bag than the nozzle. And it says do it in a zigzag pattern. There is no way I'm going to get a zigzag pattern with this. So I'm just going to put a really good amount on here because we know that there's gaps. I just dry fitted it. We know that there's gaps, so I'll put this on. Then it says hold it on there for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Who has the patience to hold something in place for 2 minutes? And once again, that means that we're going to have to be doing a lot of time edits in here. Okay, so we're going to give this a try now. Set that there. Push that in place. And we'll set this here. Oh, you know what they said? They said put some on the bottom, and I didn't know what that meant because it didn't say it in the picture. But I wonder if it's to cement it to the base. I don't think so. But I'm going to try it anyway. We'll see what works. Might work, might not. It's starting to come out easier now, and probably because it's warming up on my hand. I don't really like to do that because it's going to mess up the ground, the fake ground around it. The ground around. Okay. And we'll put this, and we'll have the basis our home, a little gingerbread home. Let's see, how does that look? Pretty good. So I will hold this for 2 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, we waited a little bit, probably 5 minutes, not 15 or whatever. This is set long enough. I think it's going to hold in place. I was looking over the instructions on the back, and I'm going to say they're more suggestions than instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory how this thing works, so I'm not going to get too caught up in instructions here. But I'm going to put a bead of icing. It's time to put on the roof. And I remember last time the roof was really a tricky part for me because it kept sliding off. Just like when snow slides off your roof, not your roof. When snow slides off, and that's the same thing that this was doing. So they included a nifty little tool, and I'm excited. Oh, this side's decorated. I didn't see that. And I'm excited to see how that works. Now, when I say excited, it doesn't mean, I'm giddy and jumping up and down. Maybe I should have, a better word would have been, I'm interested to see how it works. Okay, so this concerns me just a little bit because I gotta hold that in place for a few seconds just to make sure the whole thing doesn't fall apart, because this is where we had some issues on the one I did last time. That's been a couple of years ago now. So you can say, well, didn't you learn anything, Mark? No, I really didn't, because that was too long ago. When you do something just once, you might learn a little something, but you don't learn all that much. Okay, so we're going to try this thing. Let's see how it works. I'm going to turn it sideways. You'll get a better view of it, as will I. That looks crooked to me, but yeah, that piece is already sliding. So try to bring it together. Can I get that underneath? Yeah. See, now that's going to help. That's going to help a lot. And I'll be able to put some of this icing right up there on the peak of the house. And I'm going to have to put more on later, because as this dries, it'll help hold the top together. But what's going to happen is it's not going to be liquidy enough. It's going to set up in order to put things in place. All right, so now I have a chimney. So we are going to put the chimney. It looks like it's going to face the back. You know what? Oh no, there's a door on either side. Okay, so I have a decision to make, because the chimney is only has a decoration on one side. So I guess it doesn't matter what side is my house. The way that they show it, it's facing the front, but that is impossible. So that picture was probably taken and then reversed. Okay, so I have to put the chimney here, like that. So I'm sorry, I'm going to kind of have to do it when it's away from all of you. It's either we have the stuff facing me, or we have it facing you. And if it's facing you, I can't really see what I'm doing. Maybe I can. Well, let's see, it's not rocket science, right? It's just a little house. So I'm going to put that there. They really use some decoration on here. I suspect they used a little bit more tools than they give you in the kit. They probably had a decorator. My father was a baker, and he was a master at decorating things. He could take a little thing and make the roses and make the petals and then put all the decorations around the bottom of the cake. You give him one of those icing bags and a couple of nozzles. It was unbelievable what the man could do. And I kind of miss that in society in general. Those skills that people have. And I think a lot of it started with the schools, when the schools started taking things out of the curriculum. They started taking out the vocational education programs, and they made it so the only measure of success was if a kid went to college. It was unfortunate because I think we lost a lot of our skill sets with that. They eventually learn them when they get out on the job, but isn't that what school's for, to teach those skills to kids? Okay, the chimney is leaning forward a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but the next step is to put the door on. Oh boy, if I break this without breaking it. Put the door on, and then the gables over the door. Then what I might do is just let this all simmer for a little bit. Just let it all set up. This is attaching just directly to the side, and I don't want that to fall off, so I'm just going to put a big blob in the center here. I'm going to put that on the door, like that. I'm going to talk fancy. I could have said we'll put it thusly. And then I'm going to put a whole bunch of the icing right there, and right there. I'm going to put some on the back of this too. I don't want these little rascals to fall off. And that will fit there. And this doesn't want to stick at all. But I don't care that much, because if I make a mess, because it's kind of, if it's supposed to look like snow and frost, that's never uniform on a house, right? It's always just there, however it wants to land is the way it lands. So put a little bit of this here all together, and yeah, that's the way that it might go if it started shifting and melting a little bit. You know what that's like. You can look at a sidewalk, and sometimes the sidewalk is some spot that's completely dry because the sun hit it a little bit, and then there's other parts that still have 5 inches of snow, and then there's other parts where the wind blew and it might be 1.5 feet and has a little crust on it. So we don't have to make it perfect, right? The world isn't a perfect place, and that's what makes it so perfect. So I'm going to let this dry just a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll pick it up, and if everything's working, we'll put a little decoration on it. Okay, we're back. I let this set up for a while, and I don't know, I think I'm going to kind of decorate it according a little bit. I'm going to use the picture as a guide. I don't know if I'm really going to follow the picture or not, but I'm going to leave this on for a while. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, 6 of these candies. So I think I'm going to put 2 and 2, and then when the time comes for me to remove it, well, maybe if I do that, I'll knock the candy off. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to decorate it as I see fit. And if it falls apart, it falls apart. I hope it doesn't fall apart. I'm not going to pry this thing off. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cut that part there and that part there, because I'm afraid if I pry it off, what's going to happen is I will end up, all right, the chimney's going to fall. So I'm going to start by reinforcing. I'm going to put some reinforcement in a lot of spots, I think. This thing, she's going to blow. You know, I say stuff like that in the old movies and Star Trek and everything else. I'm good, Captain. She's going to blow. So, no, I don't do accents. Okay, so we're just gonna get a really good, healthy bead of icing up the top. And then we're gonna stick these candies in there. All these candies are gonna have to be unwrapped. So how do I put them on? I could put them at an angle. I'm gonna put them at an angle, I think. How many? I know what I'll do. I'm gonna put them in an angle. And we're gonna put 5 of them. That was kind of misshapen, but it is what it is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the in-between with some of these other candies. And that'll look really nice. Because when I look at the box, this holly isn't used for a whole lot anyway. It's used for a wreath on the front, and even then, I think that they took some liberties and they probably built a wreath out of something. And there goes a bead of holly. So I'm not gonna worry about it, right? We'll put it on however it goes. And if we make a mistake, who knows that it's a mistake? Who knows that that's not the way it's supposed to be? You know, I see plants like holly growing. It's not perfect. There's things here and there, which I guess means it is perfect, right? Because that's the way nature intended it to be. So we'll just put some of that on. And this house is looking better already. And I don't know what you're hearing right now because I haven't decided what I'm going to do for music in the background of this. But maybe you're hearing a little bit of Christmas music. Maybe I decided, my future self decided to do nothing but listen to me talk to you. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. You'll know, because you'll be listening to it. Sorry that you're looking at the back, which is not the best part of this just yet. Pretty soon it will be, because I'll put some kind of decoration back there. But I have to kind of see what I'm doing here in order to, you know, when I looked at it, it was facing you, and I couldn't really see what I was doing, and I looked in this gable, it's really crooked. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna take one of these gumdrops. I love gumdrops, by the way. And they don't have too many reds. I think I'll use the red one right away. Sort of a beacon to welcome you to this little house. And what should I put there? I'm gonna put more of that holly. Put some holly down there. A little bit of holly. And I'll put a berry and another leaf. And a berry and a leaf. That's not how they did it on the box. That's how I want to do it. In the box, they don't have anything there, actually. We'll do that again. I know a lot of you, my wife is one of those that she wants everything symmetrical. That's just the kind of person she is. You know, if it's not symmetrical, well, then it doesn't quite look right to her. And me, symmetry is important, but I think there is oh, there goes some more of those little pieces of holly. Symmetry is important, but I think also there's a little bit to be said for just, you know, the artistic nature of it, and just let things happen the way they want to happen. Okay, look at that. That's not too bad, is it? I don't know if there's a way I could put a little doorway on there. Could I? I'm gonna stick a couple of, you know, the problem is I know they show like a lot of piping around the doorway, you know, the windows and stuff to reinforce the idea that it's a window. But I just don't think that this particular bag is going to have the precision to do that. It's not a delicate enough tool here in order to pipe all of those windows and things. You know, they probably, I'm gonna guess that picture on there was probably not even done with these tools, and very likely not even done with icing. I'm gonna guess that there's a lot more going on that, you know, behind the scenes when those artists that put them together for the picture, what they really use. I don't think they really use all of this. So now moving forward, we can kind of do what we want. I think I'm going to put a bunch of gumdrops around there. I'm really reluctant to do anything with the windows simply because, actually what I'm going to do, I've got I'm going to put a couple of these trees on the back. Because we need decoration on the back too, don't we? But what I was going to say is I want to take a little bit of this and run it along, the gumdrops and run them along the base. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but maybe I won't. I don't know. We don't have a lot of them is a thing, but we do have a lot of these, and I haven't used these yet. So maybe what we can do, if we want to put Christmas lights in our house, maybe what we can do, see, all the icing has to go to the bottom of the bag. I think what we can do is open this up, and then we can stick lights along here. So, and we can just put those willy-nilly, and it'll look like we have Christmas lights. Now, I don't want to put a pattern necessarily, and I'm not even going to put them all up or down, because you know what Christmas lights are. You know, Christmas lights, sometimes they get a little wonky, and some go right side up and some go right side down. Is that the right term? Right side down? And sometimes you'll have a whole bunch of, for no reason at all, you'll have a bunch of reds that are together. Okay, so that looks pretty good, as long as they don't fall. And I'm really concerned about about this stuff falling off because it is just icing, and until the icing sets, oh, that's gonna fall off like an icicle. Boy, I wonder if there's a way you could put icicles on here. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know how I could actually pipe those windows. I'm gonna try it, I think, but I don't want to destroy the whole look of it because I ruin the windows. I don't really want to do that. How far out should lights be? How far apart? Now the lights they never touch each other, right? They go in a variety of directions. I'm just taking them as they fall out of the bag. I'm trying not to put two that are the same color together, but other than that, I'm not really establishing a pattern. I'm not going blue, green, red, yellow, blue, green, red, yellow. Okay, so here's the back. Give me a moment, please. Do we need that anymore? It's good set decoration. So there's the back, and I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to attempt to do the door, and we'll see what happens. That's not terrible, I guess. Well, now I'm going to be risking it. I'm going to commit to the window. You know, we're getting a little of these kind of peaks that are coming off when I pull the nozzle away from the house. It's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad. So, should I try it? Should I try to make a circle on there in order to do a wreath on the front? You know what they say, no guts, no glory, right? And I do want to be glorified as a gingerbread house maker. If I can't go down in history for anything else, it's going to be Gingerbread Boy. Alright. So, well, it's not too bad. Unless it starts to sag and fall and rip, I think I can fit one more leaf and one more berry. And that is very good. So, there's a look at that. Let's get some pointers from here. Oh, I see something they did that was kind of neat. They did some of the lights over the windows. But I have so much other decoration there. I don't know. You know what I might do? I'm gonna run a bead down either side to emphasize the sides. And that's where I'm gonna put my lights. Right down there. There we go. And right down here. You know, oh, did that get, yeah, I got an edge. This gives me a new appreciation for, do you ever watch that show, The Great British Bake Off? And they have to do their, I forgot what they call it, the showstopper. And it's supposed to be something that really stands out and really blows them away. And some of those people are really good decorators, and some of them, you have no idea what they're even thinking about. You know, some of them really bite off more than they can chew. But it's always interesting to watch. You know, I can't see what I'm doing over here because I want this to face the camera. So it may or may not look good, but I don't care, because lights sometimes go where they want to go, right? And so we'll put these lights on. One more down the bottom. I think I can. I think I can. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to do any more. Should I make a door? Okay, what I might do is actually just put a door on here. And I'm getting this idea from the picture on the box. I kind of did that. I think what they probably did though is I think they made a door and then they just glued it on. Because if I was an art director, that's what I would do. Why not? Why would you make it hard on yourself? I would just cut one out of something and then glue it on. Because it's got to look good in the picture. You're trying to sell gingerbread houses, right? It's coming together. Maybe I can have a little bit of, it snowed on this chimney. I think it snowed on this chimney. So we're going to have a little bit of snow and a little bit of, it'll be kind of sloppy because the snow is going to drip down on there. You see what the snow is doing? How it gathered up and it's going to drip down that. The chimney is gathering here. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. I like that. And we got a lot more, so I'm going to put, we have 3 trees, so I'm going to put 2 trees on one side and 1 tree on the other, maybe there's only room for a tree on either side.